Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. Last night, the New Jersey Devils hosted the Montreal Canadiens back at home at the Rock after going 2-1 on the Western Canada road trip, looking to get back to their winning ways. And the boys delivered. The New Jersey Devils defeated the Canadiens by a score of 5-3, winning their second game in a row, their fourth of the last five. Don't look now. This New Jersey Devils team just may be back on track. That is right, my friends. This was not the prettiest of wins for the Devils, but a win nonetheless. They found a way to get it done at home. So much to get to. A couple days ago, we find out Shimo Nemitz is in fact being sent to the Utica Comets of the AHL. I feel like this was probably, inevitable at this point. Shimo Nemitz, unfortunately for him, was bumped out of the lineup due to the incredible defensive depth the New Jersey Devils now have. I don't think anyone saw this coming in the offseason, but with the emergence of Kovacevic, it just, he couldn't come out of the lineup. He is the epitome of heavier, edgier, more violent. Kovacevic, along with Siegenthaler, are one of the best defensive pairs in the league at the moment, and so Nemitz was forced out of the lineup. He hung around for a little bit. I wasn't sure if the Devils were looking to work him back into a game or two at some point, but it looks like they said, you know what, it's not worth this kid sitting out watching games from the press box. Let him go to Utica. I'm sure he's going to play monster minutes alongside Seamus Casey there. Utica off to a horrific 0-8-1 start, and with both Nemitz and Casey in Utica now, maybe they could get that season turned around. That's quite the hole to dig themselves out of, but Nemitz and Casey have to be two of the best defensemen in the entire AHL. Hopefully that helps Utica get it done, but Shimo Nemitz officially in Utica for now. Maybe we'll see him later on in the year if there's injuries or, people struggling, but this New Jersey Devils team, defensive depth, and it just unfortunate for Nemitz. I don't think he saw this coming for his career. I don't think he's happy about it, but it is what it is. He was rushed into the league last year as a result of injuries, and so, this is a business. And with the incredible depth the Devils now have, Nemitz to the AHL, we'll keep an eye on that as the season goes on, but Devils hosting the Canadiens, and this one seemed like it might get out of hand early. We go to the scoring at only 1:33. In the first period, Jack Hughes picks up a rebound. He passes it to Dougie, immediately gets the pass back from him, and then Jack just does Jack Hughes things, just slicing and dicing through the whole Canadiens team, cutting to the net and getting a beautiful backhand pass across the crease to Bratt. Easy tap-in for Bratt, his fourth of the season, with the assist to Hughes and Hamilton. Absolutely a highlight reel goal, and Jack was just flying around all night tonight. I'll talk about him in a little bit, but Devils with the 1-0 lead at 1:33, and then at 12:38, Ondrej Palat causes a turnover on the wall. The puck gets to Jack. Palat immediately creeps towards the front of the net in a shooting position. Jack feeds him, and he rips one past Montembeault. Palat's second of the season. Hughes with the assist, giving the Devils a 2-0 lead, and what a beautiful play. Palat does do a lot of little things he may not get credit for. I know a lot of people have been down on him because of his contract. It is what it is, but he does do a lot of good things that go unnoticed a lot, and winning puck battles on the wall and causing turnovers and just getting after guys is one of the things he really does, and he made this play happen by getting aggressive along the wall. He caused the turnover. The puck went to Jack. He flies to the front of the net. Jack gets it to him, and he rips one past the goalie, giving the Devils a 2-0 lead. Beautiful play, and Jack, at this point, I'm like, wow, it's going to be one of those nights for Jack. 2 assists in the first period with some time left to play, but that's how the period ended. 2-0 Devils after one, and I'm not going to lie, at this point, I thought the Devils were going to just absolutely steamroll them. Jack was flying everywhere, and it looked like it was going to be one of those nights where we absolutely decimate another team, but credit to the Montreal Canadiens. They did not lay down and die. They're not off to the best start this season. They're definitely struggling, but they have a lot of great talent on their team, as a lot of NHL teams do, or most NHL teams, and they're not going to roll over. And tonight was no different. Second period starts, Devils up 2-0. At 5 minutes even, Siegenthaler makes a bad pass. Montreal intercepts it in the neutral zone One quick pass, then another drop pass. Dougie Hamilton kind of frozen for a second, and Newhook just puts one through Markstrom. Not a great goal against. I think Markstrom would want that one back. It went through him, but great play by Montreal off of the turnover. Siegenthaler threw one up the middle. Ill-advised pass, and they make the most of it. Newhook, his third of the season, cutting the Devils' lead to 2-1 at 5 minutes. And now I started to get a little nervous. I was like, oh, no. Oh, no. I wanted to be just steamrolling this team and sit back and have it easy. But it was a highly contested game till the very end. But at 10:20, the boys working down low, battling for the puck along the wall. My man Paul Cotter kicks it to Haula, who just looks up and finds Siegenthaler in front, kind of gliding towards the net, and Siegenthaler rips one right into the back of the net past Montembeault. Siegenthaler's first of the season from Haula and Cotter, giving the Devils the 3-1 lead at 10:20, and Siegenthaler looks like a new player this year. I know I've talked about him several times, but he was a guy a lot of people were down on after last season. He definitely struggled. He was playing through injuries, and apparently that really affected him because he looks like a new player this year. The pairing of Siegenthaler and Kovacevic is one of the best shutdown pairs in the league. I mean, who would have seen this coming? After the season Siegenthaler had last season, to think that he was going to come into this year and be paired with Jonathan Kovacevic, who was slated to be the 7th defenseman. Let's not get confused here. Jonathan Kovacevic was not expected to be in the opening night lineup. He was a depth defenseman, a 7th defenseman by all accounts. Fitzy, Keefe, everyone saying he was obtained for depth. Kovacevic, we get him from Montreal for a 4th rounder, and because of injuries and the way everything shakes out, Kovacevic looks great in camp. He looks great in the preseason. Him and Siegenthaler are a pair, and now they're one of the best defensive pairs in the league. I mean, credit to Fitz for just making something out of nothing. A 4th-round pick brings in Kovacevic, and him with Siegenthaler is just an absolute shutdown pair. Siegenthaler getting his first of the season, 3-1 Devils, but of course the Canadiens would just not accept their fate. At 19:01, and I hate to see these late goals in the period. We've seen this from the Devils a lot. Hopefully this is something that could be eradicated sooner than later, because this is a trait that's still kind of lingering from last year's 23-24 Devils, giving up goals late, and they gave one up here. At 19:01, Canadians working the puck around in their offensive zone. They find Anderson in the slot. He rips a hard one-timer. Markstrom makes the big save, but a big, fat, juicy rebound in front. Gallagher gets there and puts it past Markstrom, cutting the Devils' lead to 3-2 at 19:01, and I was pissed at this one. I was like, under a minute left in the period, those sting. We could have went into the locker room up 3-1 going into the third, and now they're going into the locker room up 3-2. It is what it is. We go to the third period, and at 6:23, Canadians take a shot wide of net. It comes flying hard off the boards. Bratt picks it up and just starts cooking up the ice. Jack follows suit. He starts sizzling up the middle. 2-on-1. Bratt hits him with a beautiful backhand pass right in front. Jack pops it up past Montembeault on the stick side for his 5th of the season, giving the Devils the 4-2 lead. Bratt with his 13th assist, and Bratter's just been so consistent. I can't sing this man's praises enough. I've said for the past probably 2 or 3 years now at least that I do believe Jesper Bratt has been our best and most consistent forward over the last few years. He's managed to stay healthy, and he's just producing at nearly a point per game in the last few years. You love to see it, and he's right back there this season. Bratter's 2nd point on the night. Jack's 3rd point on the night. First goal. Already had 2 assists in the first period, and peanut butter and jelly, baby. Jack Hughes and Jesper Bratt are just a dynamic duo. What a great 1-2 punch there. Whether it's Jesper to Jack or Jack to Jesper, the peanut butter and jelly connection is 2 of the best playmakers in the league. These guys are lethal. Palat starting to kind of pick it up a little bit on their line. If I'm being completely honest, it's a shame that we don't have a third kind of dynamic piece to put with Jack and Jesper, because I do think a nice finishing winger that could snipe some goals would be an absolutely great addition, and maybe that's something Fitz has up his sleeve at the deadline. Who really knows? But for now, peanut butter and jelly plus Palat is getting it done, and Jack gives the Devils a 4-2 lead at 6:23 of the third. And of course, the Canadians weren't done. Less than 2 minutes later, at 8:13, big hit behind the Montreal net. Newhook picks it up and just comes flying up the ice, catching the Devils on a bad change. Haula kind of drifting back playing defense, and Newhook just blows right by him. Just a quick little move, goes right around Haula, takes it hard to the net. He takes a shot, it deflects off Dougie's stick and pops up and into the net past Markstrom. A terrible goal against for the Devils. You just can't allow somebody to come coast to coast like that and catch you sleeping. And Newhook did. Credit to him. And it was an absolutely amazing single-handed effort by Newhook. I mean, this kid was all over the ice tonight, and he's going to be a problem for a lot of teams. He is talented, and he showed it there. Coast to coast, just making the Devils look foolish. Newhook's 4th this season, cutting the Devils' lead to 4-3. Fortunately for the Devils, they weathered a couple storms. Markstrom made a couple big saves to keep the 1-goal lead for the Devils. And after several missed shots by the Devils on the empty net and a couple icings, the puck's coming to Matheson with the empty net. Puck's coming to Matheson at the point. Jack charges him and just lays a hit. Love to see it. Hits Matheson. Matheson falls down. The puck comes out loose. Bratt picks it up and just flies down the ice and just deposits it in the empty net. Bratter's 5th of the season on the empty net, unassisted, but unofficially assisted by Jack Hughes. What an amazing hustle play. Jack just charges the guy at the point and hits him, causes the puck to get loose right to Bratt. An easy empty net for Bratt. You love to see it. Complete hustle play by Jack. And Sheldon Keefe is now trusting Jack Hughes to play in late game scenarios, protecting a lead with the empty net. And that's not something we've seen historically Jack Hughes do. And Keefe is trusting in him in those moments. And it paid dividends tonight. You know, Montreal looking to tie the game up late with the extra attacker. Jack charges the point man and lays a hit on him, and it leads to a goal for the Devils. Bratt gets his 5th at 19:34 on the empty net. Devils up 5-3. That is how the game ends. And what an absolute big win for this Devils club. Again, not the prettiest win by any stretch, but a win is a win. 2 points in the bank. And the story of this game for me is Jack Hughes and Jesper Bratt absolutely flying around. That line looked dominant all night. Palat looks like he could be starting to come to life playing with these two guys. And it's something you absolutely love to see. Jack off to a little bit of a slow start. I've said for, a couple episodes here now that I'm just expecting the old Jack Hughes to return, and he certainly was back tonight. I'm hoping to see that continue from Jack. As we all know, when Jack gets hot, he's capable of these 3-point nights and maybe a few in succession. I wouldn't be shocked, if he gets 5 points or so in the next 2 games. It's just the way Jack gets when he's on, and he's capable of putting up big points. Maybe not always goals, but his assists are absolute works of art. And the 2 assists he had tonight were just beautiful. Just beautiful setups. You'd love to see it. Again, Bratter on top of his game as he's been for the better part of a few seasons. Jesper Bratt sometimes kind of gets forgotten about amidst all the other guys on this team. But overall, a great team win. Would like to see us tighten up a little bit defensively. That last Newhook goal was tough to watch. I mean, going coast to coast, it was just, oof. You can't get caught like that. But great win. The top line looking dominant. And a win is all you could ask for, Obviously, they're not all going to be dominant performances. They're not all going to be pretty. But all you got to do is just win, baby, win. They did that tonight. We look at the game stats. Canadiens with 24 shots on goal. Devils with 27. Faceoffs pretty even. Montreal with 47.1%. Devils with 52.9%. The power play was not clicking for anyone tonight. Canadiens go 0 for 2 on the power play. Devils go 0 for 3 on the power play. Canadiens with 25 hits. Devils with 22 hits. Canadiens with 13 block shots. Devils with 14 block shots. Montreal with 11 giveaways. The Devils with 11 giveaways. Montreal with 3 takeaways. And the Devils with 3 takeaways. And when you look at the stats, they're pretty much as close as you could get. The Devils had 3 more shots on goal. The faceoffs were super close. Hits were very close, 25-22 in favor of the Canadiens. Block shots, 14-13 in favor of the Devils. Giveaways and takeaways were both exactly the same. 11 giveaways for both teams, 3 takeaways. On paper, a very evenly contested game. The Devils make the better of their chances and get that big win. And they have now won 2 games in a row, 4 of their last 5. And they will be heading to Long Island to take on the Islanders on Saturday, looking for that oh-so-elusive 3rd consecutive win. It has been far too long since these boys have put together a 3-game winning streak, and hopefully they get it done on Saturday on the island. Massive, massive game. I am super jacked for that one. Most of you recall from a couple weeks ago, the last Devils-Islanders matchup was a feisty one. My man Curtis McDermott laid a bone-jarring hit on Romanov, knocking his helmet off. He's bleeding from his mouth. He's skating to the bench dejected, and then Mayfield came over and fought McDermott. Later in the game, Romanov targeted Jack and got him with a pretty good hit, and then after the game kind of bragged about it and was saying, oh, you want to hit me? I'm going to hit your star player. This aggression will not stand. This aggression will not stand, and the boys better be ready for absolute warfare on the island on Saturday because the Islanders are going to be ready for it, and I don't want the Devils to wait. I don't want to wait till we get punched in the mouth to punch them in the mouth. I hope the message from Keefe is clear. From puck drop, we are taking it to them. We are playing the body, and we are going to make this an absolute war because that is the type of hockey this team needs to embrace. Fitzy went out and got the personnel, and they are indeed heavier, edgier, more violent, and they need to be playing that way right away. Be proactive in this department versus reactive. And we saw in this Montreal game, they started increasing the intensity and dialed it up late in the game. I don't know if Marty St. Louis behind the bench told them to go out there and just start crushing people, but that last, 8 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it was, they were laying the body everywhere, and they turned it up. And then the Devils, tried to respond, but I would like to see the Devils just come out of the gate with that tenacity and the intensity right away. Don't wait for the other team to initiate it. We must not only be able to play that type of game, but we must be the initiators and the drivers of that type of play. And I'm hoping we see that on Saturday because, again, I think too many games this season the Devils have kind of waited for it to reach that level before they start responding. And I'm not looking for that. I want to see them set the tone and just come out and just start smashing people immediately. Immediately. This game is going to be a war. I expect this game against the Islanders to be like a playoff game. The intensity will be there. We already have the little storylines from only a couple weeks ago, and I look forward to it. I would love to see Curtis McDermott dole out some justice in the fisticuffs department with those sledgehammer fists of his, and hopefully they're landing on Romanov's face. I'm very pumped for this game. It's a big one, and then they're coming right back home on Sunday to host the Sharks. That's going to be an interesting one. A lot of plot lines there as well. So many former New Jersey Devils on that team, including Blackwood and Vanacek, Tyler Toffoli, Zetterlund. Hopefully whoever's in net doesn't have the performance of a lifetime against the Devils because, as we all know, that has been an all-too-common theme over the past few seasons as well. But overall, a great night at the Rock. Devils win 5-3. Hughes and Bratt, peanut butter and jelly, just looking dominant. And big win. Big 2 points to this team. They have now won 4 of their last 5, and we are headed to the island looking to get that elusive 3rd consecutive victory. I hope they get it done. But let me know in the comments what you thought about this game. Let me know what you think about anything I said in this video. Anything, everything New Jersey Devils hockey, throw it out there in the comments. I love talking to you all. Shout out to all of you that joined me for the post-game live after the Canadiens game. Always have fun. And like I always say, victory drinks taste much better than defeat drinks. And hopefully we're sipping some victory cocktails or beers Saturday night after the Islander game. I really want this team to win that game. This is a huge one. Finally get a 3-game winning streak in the books would be absolutely lovely. And we'll see how it plays out. But I have high hopes for this team. You all know I was very high on this team from the summer after Fitzy's big acquisitions. And I think as the season goes on, under General Keefe, this team is going to bring us on a ride. I really believe that. And hopefully we see an exciting victory Saturday on the island. I'll be back soon. I have a bunch of stuff in the works. Maybe I'll come on. Someone mentioned maybe do a pregame thing for weekend games. So I'm considering that for Saturday, depending on what I have going on before the Honor game. But throw it all out there in the comments. I will talk to you all soon. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go.